JK Rowling recently tweeted something that could put our community at serious risk. As someone who provides reliable legal information to our community, I need to break down exactly what crimes she's suggesting people commit against trans people and how you can legally protect yourself. Hi, I'm Arya. I'm a trans femme legal professional and academic lawyer based in the UK. And today we need to discuss a tweet recently made by JK Rowling that really does pose a huge risk to the community. So if you are a member of our community, I recommend you carry on watching. I'll explain how this could affect you and how you can protect yourself from things in this situation. So you may already have seen it. This is the tweet. She was asked how she would plan to police public toilets and responded with quite easily, really, decent men will stay out as they always have, so we can assume all who don't are a threat given their disregard for women's and girls' safety, privacy and dignity. Photographing, reporting and disseminating such men's images online will be a piece of cake. Now, JK Rowling is very much of the opinion that trans women are men. And it's fundamentally not true, regardless of whatever opinion you have gained online. And frankly, shouldn't be something that's put out there in the public by someone of such, I don't want to call it influence, but of someone of such presence. But we do need to discuss this because there are some serious ramifications at play, both for our community and for those who will blindly follow her and take what she's saying as instructions. Now, I'm not saying she does intend this as instructions. I have to be very clear on that. But there are people who will construe this as instructions. And as always, before I continue, this is not legal advice. This is purely for your education, for your information, and for your safety that I am doing this. So I want to start very quickly by letting you know that taking photos of people inside a public toilet without their permission, regardless of the reasons you are doing it, is a serious privacy violation. That's recognised by the Human Rights Act. That's recognised by the European Court of Human Rights. And if someone does this, you can take legal action against them, sue them for damages. However, in the modern era of social media, people don't use their real names. It can be very hard, even for lawyers and for the police, to track down exactly who that person is, and they do rely on this for a safety barrier to protect them from any kind of legal action. However, there are things you can do in the moment that will protect you, because not only is it a serious privacy violation to be filming people inside public toilets and intending to disseminate those images in the public space, there are actually several crimes being committed that can be reported and should be reported directly to the police in instances like this. So, first of all, if they are filming you and it becomes very clear they intend to cause you harm, you can and should always approach this like it is a physical threat to your safety, because even if in the moment there is not a physical threat to your safety, you don't know what that image is going to lead to. In that case, and this is untested, but stands to reason based on the case law that I have been exposed to, you can take the recording device, the phone, whatever it may be, from them. It may get slightly sketchier if you were to damage the phone. I would never say don't, just in case, but try and take the phone, put it in your pocket, call the police from your own phone immediately, and wait for help to arrive. It's not theft, no matter what they try and tell you, because your intention in that situation is that when the police arrive, you will calmly explain what's happened to them and you will return the phone to a police officer. No theft has been committed by doing this. But if someone also approaches you intending to commit some kind of harm, this is immediately assault. This is a common misconception. They do not have to touch you for it to be assault. The threat of physical harm is assault. And at that moment, we're already into serious crime territory. It is a police emergency. You should report it to the police as such. and they will, in theory, prosecute that offence on its own. Now, if they touch you in any way, they don't have to hit you. They can lay a hand on you gently. It doesn't matter. If they're doing that without your consent, that then becomes the crime of battery, which is often the one that is misconstrued as being assault. Battery, again, very serious offence, should be actioned by the police as an emergency. So if you ever feel like you are under threat, always call the police. In the UK, 999. Elsewhere, you should know your local emergency number. Call them, tell them what is happening, and get immediate police assistance with that situation. Now, also taking pictures of people in a bathroom and indeed disseminating that online is harassment. It is the crime of harassment. Again, a very, very serious crime that the police will take very seriously. So you should be aware of that, and again, report immediately to the police. Finally, in this situation, and unfortunately this happens significantly more than any of us would like to acknowledge or believe, this has happened to me. They will make an attempt, or they may make an attempt, I should say, to touch your genitals, like they're being the bathroom police, the genital police. The second they do that, they have committed a sexual assault. It is a sexual assault, and at that point, as you can well imagine, extremely serious repercussions from the police. The gentleman that did that to me basically paid my rent and bills for a year. So definitely something you want to report to the police, not for the financial gain, but because that then goes on a criminal record as something they have been convicted of. Makes it very hard for someone to find employment if they've got that on their record, and you do have to declare it. So it's very important that you make sure any instance in which you feel threatened, you report to the police immediately, in the moment if you can, but certainly report that immediately. Now, if the police refuse to respond, and we all know how slow the police can be to respond to incidents. When I was sexually assaulted by this gentleman, I phoned the police immediately and they arrived 3 hours later. It's not the police's strong suit, but you should still try it just in case you happen to live in an area that has a responsive police force. Make sure while you're on the phone with the operator, you stress, this is an emergency. I need this help right now. Make sure you are fully breaking down, because while it may not protect you in the moment necessarily, because anything can, even if it takes the police 5 minutes to arrive, anything can happen in that gap. That has been recorded. So if something were, and I hope it doesn't, but if something were to happen to you, if you were to get hurt in that situation, you then have it on record. All calls to the police are recorded. You have it on record that you called the police, you told them you were in a serious situation, that you required help, and if their slow response time causes you to suffer physical harm, you can then take action against the police should you need to make sure that at least in some way something gets made right, although I really would hope it doesn't come to that. I also strongly recommend carrying a legal personal protective device, something like a rape alarm. Always carry one. Obviously in the UK you can't carry pepper spray, mace, whatever you wish to call it, but you can carry a personal alarm, and I do recommend everyone in our community carries one at all times. Mine is in my bag. Mine is always in my bag, and I can always get to it at 5 seconds notice should I need to. Now, finally, I would like to address Miss Rowling and her legal representatives. As legal professionals, our primary duties include upholding the law and protecting our clients. So when clients make public statements that could potentially incite violence, this raises serious professional responsibility questions. Now, if these tweets were to lead to harmful actions against our community, and I suspect they probably will, I will support efforts to document these incidents. I'm happy to be the person that gathers evidence for those who need this information. Under the Serious Crime Act of 2007, statements that encourage criminal behavior can meet the legal threshold for prosecution. So not only has she put herself at risk by making these comments, but also her followers who might action this could find themselves at risk by doing this, as well as us, which is obviously my primary concern. I care more about our community than those that wish to harm us. But I just want to make the whole situation very clear. Now, as I've said before, I strongly recommend anyone, I would encourage you, if you experience these crimes that I have suggested, that I have just outlined, report them to the police immediately, because our community deserves legal protection. Now, if you are a member of our community and you want more legal advice that you can rely on, from changing your name to other actions in discrimination in the workplace that might affect you, please do subscribe to the channel, because I will be providing a lot more of that information on the channel for you guys. You can also join my Discord, which is linked down below, if you want to talk to me directly, if you want to find a safe community online to discuss things with. We're here for you. That is something we are doing for you. And finally, of course, if you've had any experience of these incidents that you'd like to share, if you've got any personal safety tips that you would like to share with other members of our community, please do leave them in the comments down below, because you never know if your experience might be able to help someone else avoid having this experience. Now, I want to thank you all for watching. I will be back very soon with more videos, more information for our community. I hope you all stay safe out there. Please don't be afraid to report things to the police, because it is their job to protect us just like any other citizen. So thank you for watching, guys. I have been Aria, and until next time, thank you very much for watching.